Hey, 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 it is Wednesday. How's everybody doing? It is Cindy Rowe with Cindy Rowe Marketing, and it is my favorite day of the week because I get to interview amazing small business and entrepreneurs or small business owners. See, Tracy, I told you I was going to mess up. Small business owners and entrepreneurs. And I have a great, awesome guest here today. Tracy, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Tracy and I met just recently,
Mhm.
actually, through Elevate 815, which is a networking group out of the Roscoe Rockton area. And she had just started her business. I'm like, well, you need to be on my show. So, Tracy, tell everybody what it is that you do.
Well, my name is Tracy, and I am the owner of Mama Bear's Dog Treats and Balms. I sell fresh dog food, dog treats, and homemade balms for their paw pads. You can use it on their noses. Um, Recently, I started an aromatherapy product line that I'm super excited about. And if you could see my two dogs right now, they are currently passed out on their places. And so I'm very grateful for that because usually when I'm in a meeting or something, somebody is in my bubble. So,
Yeah.
um,
I
yeah.
know that feeling too. It's like whenever I get on the phone or on camera, on a Zoom or something like this,
Hmm.
that's when my dogs decide to play. Normally they're snoring right
Right?
by my side.
Just like kids.
Yeah. Well, I was really intrigued when we met and I found out what you did too because I my dogs love treats. So and we actually got talking about one of my dogs is very hyper, although it's his breed, but sometimes he gets a little bit extreme.
Right?
We're like, I have a treat for that. And I did not bring it because I was going to show everybody. Um, and I heard
That's Echo. She's
but
barking at her own thoughts right now.
that's great. But or I gave it to Mac, and they were the aromatherapy ones, the lavender calming ones. And yeah, he totally chilled out. But he still had
Cool.
um, his demeanor, but it was in a
It was a little more mellow.
right. And I was
Oh,
like, this
good.
is good. This is
Oh,
cool.
I'm so glad they worked for you. Yay.
Yeah. I wish I would have brought him. But so how did you get started in this? Like, have you always wanted to make dog treats?
Well, we have two dogs. Wendy, she's 6, and Echo is 3. And before we got Echo, Wendy had been having like just some skin issues, and I like to bake, and so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and try making some homemade treats just for her. I had done a little research at the time, and lo and behold, obviously she liked them. And there's quite a few people in my neighborhood that have dogs, and would gift us with homemade treats with no preservatives, no junk in them that dogs don't need. And um, so I kind of went with that. And then when we got Echo, she had some health issues that we didn't know about until just recently. And so um, I had taken a class, and then after that, I got really intrigued with finding out everything that I had learned about just human grade food and how it's safe for dogs. And so it went with that. And then in November, I took a chance and a very big risk, I would say, for me, because I'm not typically a risk taker. And I thought, you know what? Not going to know until you jump in. So I posted a question on Facebook, anybody interested in homemade dog treats without preservatives? Well, the response I got was just absolutely amazing and so encouraging. And so that's kind of what um, got me going on that and got me excited about doing this. Um, And so I've never run a business. I've always just worked in school districts or, done whatever. Um, And so I had no idea what I was doing. Um, and I was just like, all right, I guess this is the path I am now on. And so I'm not going to give up. And I have pushed and pushed and pushed myself so far out of my comfort zone. Um, just continually on trying new recipes and Echo. She's my bubble breaker is now over here. I don't know if you see her. There she is.
Aw.
Wait, where are you? There she is.
Hi, Echo. Oh, that's so
Anyway,
cute.
so yeah, just started it, and then um, my husband has been a really great cheerleader, and my kids have been, they've voiced that they're proud of me, and that kind of just spurs everything on. And I have a really good friend that really encouraged me to just keep on keeping on and just keep going with it and never give up. So,
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you have a support team because starting a business, being an entrepreneur, it's a very lonely world and not every day is amazing and
mhm,
there's a lot of times that you get told no
there
or
have been
know all
absolutely.
those negative things and it's like how do you pick yourself back up off of that? So the fact that you have some great people in your life that are encouraging you, I think you're
Mhm.
on a good path there.
I I definitely agree with that. It's just every single time I come up with an idea or like the grain-free treats that you well, no, was yours the grain-free or was yeah, your purchase was grain-free lavender calming ones.
Yeah.
I do not like coconut flour. It is not one of my favorite things to bake with, and so I'm the other day I was making a new batch and I'm out there and I'm just like given this batter what for, and my daughter's out in the living room. She goes, "Add more water," and I was like, "No, I don't think that's gonna work." Well, probably 5 minutes later, I'm like, "Maybe I should add some more water." Well, guess what worked? Adding more water. So they turned out relatively good, and but I found almond flour that works way better than coconut flour. So
Yeah, that's great. We actually have our first comment from Erica. She said, "Love your tenacity." So,
thank you,
hey, you got a
Erica.
cheerleader there too. Yep,
Yay.
tenacity is one of those things that I think every entrepreneur needs to have. We learn and grow with our challenges and our mistakes, but
Yes.
it's you take those turns and you keep going and pushing forward. So you mentioned, you haven't always been a dog treat baker. Um, did the things that you did in the past help you to where you're at now? Like, did you learn some skills or some traits that you definitely needed
Mhm.
to start your business? Can you
Yeah,
describe those?
absolutely. I think my first 2 treats that I made were the breath mint treats and the
Mhm.
molasses peanut rewards. Breath mint treats, I learned that, the fresh mint and the fresh basil, if you freeze it, and then take out what you need, or freeze it in individual, like, Ziploc bags, and if
Mhm.
you need it for the batch, you just crumple it up in the bag, and you don't have to chop it, and that worked really, really well. The other thing I'd say with the it's just tweaking the recipes almost every time. It's not changing the ingredients, it might be changing the amounts or the bake time. Um, you know, I had gone out into the community and checked with a couple of local places about selling stuff or,
Mhm.
having them buy my products to sell in their stores. And I did get quite a few no's and there was a yes or two. And then finally, I think mainly just learning that the way I was doing thing like with pricing or whatever, I might have to tweak it a little bit with that. Um But as far as making the batches, yeah, I think it's just tweaking the recipes, maybe adding a little bit more of something and a little less of something else, or um, just playing around with it.
So, do you taste test them, or is it just with your
Um,
dogs how they react with it? Like,
I
how
think
would you
it's
know that you need less
mainly
mint or more mint?
it's mainly how Wendy and Echo react to it. Although I do have my husband has a coworker that has dogs, and she's purchased from me. Um, I won't mention her name because I don't know if she wants to be mentioned, but she rather enjoys the treats as well. It's all human grade ingredients. They're just
Right.
not sweet.
That's
They're
what
gonna
I'm
be
saying.
very,
I mean,
yeah, so it's gonna taste like peanut butter or mint or the, sometimes I think it was the peanut molasses rewards. The house just smelled like gingerbread, and it
oh.
was just it's just like, oh, it smells so good in here. So taste test, I don't taste them, but my dogs will come running. I have a funny story about that. What do you want? Go to place. No. Mm. um
Mom.
I took Wendy to get her toenails trimmed, and they had like the fancy frosted cookies that they
Hmm.
brought in or whatever for the dogs. And some of them get broken in shipping. So they had one that was broken, and she asked if she could give Wendy a piece. And I said, sure. And in my head, I'm going, she's not going to eat it. And so she took the bite. I think I told you this story. I might have told you. I don't know. She took the bite and kind of rolled it around in her mouth and spit it out on the floor. We went through this like 3 times, and she wouldn't eat it.
That's
But
great.
if they're outside and, I'm ready for them to come in, all I have to say is "Cookie," and that's I mean, it's over. They are, like,
Yeah.
right where I need them to be. So,
So what prompted you to look into the aromatherapy and taking your business to that level? I mean, that's exciting because that's a whole nother product line that you can offer.
yeah. Okay, so with that, I had wanted to take an aromatherapy canine aromatherapy educator class. And I had wanted to take it last year, but it just wasn't working out. And I just kind of felt like that was the way it was supposed to go. I was supposed to do other things first. So I just tried to follow that lead.
Hmm.
And both dogs had had some issues with health, and Wendy having the skin issues, and then Echo, she has an autoimmune disease that causes her platelets not to clot. And
Oh.
so if she has an internal injury or a very serious wound on the outside, um, she could have possibly bled to death. Leave it. Sorry. um, Hi, thank you. So I took this class, and it was the most eye opening. It was such an amazing class. I learned so much. So aromatherapy, you can do it so many different ways. You can diffuse it in your diffuser, you can apply it topically, and you can apply it not necessarily internally, because not oils aren't necessarily safe for internal. Um, some are. Um, so they were the reason, part of the reason why I wanted to do the aromatherapy class and get that product line started. And with a lot of research and just checking things out and looking through my books that I had, I came up with different products. The paw balm is one that I have, and that's basically, think of chapstick for you. You put it on their paw pads in the winter, and it just protects them from being outside in the snow and ice and
Right.
um, cold, wet weather. Trying to think, like the lavender, it's just a calming item that you can use.
Hmm.
Um, Wendy had to have her ACL repaired recently, and she's recovering from that. And so prior to that, I had researched an oil blend just to help with like pain and joint tenderness. And that seemed to help until she could have the surgery. And I've used the same blend um, probably within a couple of days of her coming home. I just started applying it, just real gentle, just gentle massage, um, and it's done its job. It's You can
Yeah,
tell that she's bearing more weight, and obviously she's getting better. But
that's great.
yeah,
So, what's one of the biggest lessons that you've learned in this new journey of yours?
um, if at first you don't succeed, just keep trying
Add
for
more
sure.
water.
Yeah, yeah. And don't, in the beginning, I had an attitude of I felt like I had to prove something to someone.
Okay.
And then it became very obvious that that really wasn't how I should be feeling. And so I feel like I've proved something to myself that in this journey of starting a business from, I mean, literally not knowing anything. You should have seen my very first treat bags and labels. They were no, it was hillbilly. It was something. But I've graduated to labels and fancy bags, and so I don't feel like I have to prove anybody wrong anymore. I
I
just keep
love
proving
that.
to myself that I'm gonna screw up probably more often than not, but I'm still gonna keep trying.
Yeah.
And so now as far as like I did mention that oils couldn't be taken internally, and that is true, but there are definitely a lot of oils that can be used topically. So I just wanted to kind of reiterate
Yeah.
that important fact. There are oils to stay away from too, um, but most, if you do your research, most are safe. Huh.
What are your plans for the coming year to get the word out about your business or your new aromatherapy
Okay.
part of it?
Um, well, sooner than later, probably when is it? It's June, starting June 1st, I will be at Rockton River Market on Wednesdays from
Nice.
5 to 8. That goes 13 weeks. And so come see me there. You can bring your dogs. I'll have samples, and that'll be a good time. That's another step of like, oh my gosh, I'm actually doing this kind of thing. And then the
No
other
backing out
event,
now.
what's that?
No backing out now.
No, nope, it's all in there. The other event that I have coming up is on June 5th. It's a Sunday from 11 to 2. Um, and that one is called Bark Fest. It's at South Beloit High School, and it's just a complete canine vendor event. So all
Cool.
things canine. Um, for future, I'm hoping within the next, let's see, it's May. I'm hoping by maybe the end of the year I have a website up and running. I have a good friend that's going to help me with the ins and outs of that because she has a website, and so that's pretty fresh in her head on how to do that. She's a pretty smart girl about that. So
Great.
um, and as far as that goes, maybe down the line a storefront, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself, and just it's day
It's
by
okay.
day.
Yeah.
And we'll just go with whatever that day happens to bring.
Yeah, and it's definitely good to dream, right? We've
Hmm.
got to put it out there, and you never know what might happen, especially with these markets. That's a great way to get the word out about your products. What have you done for your marketing? I mean, I'm
Okay.
a marketing girl. What have you done so
Mhm.
far that you think has really worked the best?
um I'm not typically shy. um
Except for on camera, you
except for when you're on
said.
camera. So I have no fear of going up to somebody in the grocery store if I see that they have a big old bag of dog food in their cart. I've done it many times, maybe much to my children's chagrin, because they'll be like on their way, and I'm like, wait, hold on, I'm sharing. So I will hand out business cards. Um, I have gone up to vehicles in the pickup line at my daughter's school, and she wasn't with me, so she probably was very grateful that I didn't embarrass her that way. But I'll just hand my cards out wherever. I saw a vehicle the other day that had, it was like dog mom, and there was little paw prints, and so I stuck one in the window thing, a business card.
I
I
love
have,
that. I
yeah,
love
I have
it.
samples in
Like,
my van. Echo, you're not being appropriate right now. Stop. No.
I love the fact that you're not afraid to tell people what you do and to share it. Like your product is much better than what they're going to be getting at the store anyway,
Mhm.
and most pet owners would appreciate that. Like how else would they know, you know? And you're not
Right.
saying here, buy it, you know, it's like here, if you're interested, check
And
out,
that's,
you know, like it's not forcing, but what a great, I love that. I love that I think that's a fun edge that you have.
and I would probably be willing to bet that everybody that I've handed a business card to in that way, I haven't heard from them, but that's okay, because that's just one step closer to one of these times somebody's going to be like, I'm gonna call you, you know.
Yeah.
I just have that, I guess I just have that faith that that's all I can do, is just keep being hopeful and not, it, I think right now that's really what I'm focusing on, and just trying to just educate people, and help them out. Um, I forgot what I was going to say, because I have an echo staring at me right now.
You have the evil eyes of you're not paying attention to me. I love that. That's so funny. So how do you like what's your definition of success? Like how do you define success for you in your business?
um, I would define success, um, just in the fact that if somebody were to get back with me and be like, what you sold me really worked. Um, I have a client that recently made my first aromatherapy sale, and I reached out to her. I haven't heard back from her, but I know she's busy, so she'll get with me when she can. But I just, um that to me, um means more than anything. It's just that what I've learned and what I've been able to share and show people, and that then they come back and they're like, yeah, that really worked, can I get some more of that, or can I try something else? That to me is success. And when you have a business, obviously you want to make money, but I think right now just sharing is good
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's definitely success has changed for me, or my definition of success has changed for me over the years. And I'm in my sixth year of business. And, for me, it wasn't about the money. Like I left a corporate job,
mhm.
getting paid almost six figures, and I
Oh,
was
wow.
super unhappy,
Mhm.
and starting my own business, being able to impact other small business owners and entrepreneurs with my skill set and my knowledge, like that was fulfilling. Like that's
Mhm.
success for me. So when I saw them have success, that was my success, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and if you build a business about the money, you're gonna it's not gonna be worth it, right?
No,
There's
because you're always
obviously,
just gonna want more money.
right? Yeah.
And yeah, obviously that's why you started your business, but I think having this attitude of just wanting to help people, that's really
Mhm.
what's gonna help me build my business.
And that's where you're going to get through those rough patches. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
I have more humans and dogs to help like
Yeah, yeah.
that. Yeah. So what, okay, so taking your last few months and like what kind of words of wisdom, advice would you give to somebody that's thinking about starting something?
Mhm.
Maybe they're already doing something to help their family or whatever family member, and like, hey, maybe I could make this a business. Like, what kind of advice would you give to them?
Um, I would definitely say reach out to those around you, um,
Mhm.
because chances are they know somebody that maybe knows someone else and can guide you in the right way.
Mhm.
For example, I have my friend that's gonna help me start the website. Um, she offered to have my product on her website store. And so I
Great.
have a few balms and a couple different treats on her website. And so that was I wasn't looking for that, and she had no idea that I don't think she even realized that this was what I was doing, and we had seen each other at a conference, and, wanted to make sure she had my phone number so we could, connect again. When I gave her my business card, her jaw just about dropped to the floor, and then, we just started talking and, tears started flowing because we were just like, "How did we not know each other was doing this?" It was a really cool experience. So to answer your question, yes, just reach out to just put it out on Facebook. That's what it's for. It's that
Yep.
platform that you can end up building off of, um, to make that happen.
That's great advice. Yeah, people don't know what you do unless you tell them.
Right. Yeah,
And pass out your business cards like
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I probably I don't know, I've probably embarrassed my family. My kids more. My
Yeah.
husband, he just enjoys watching me, do what I do. I also had a friend that had a Cricut, and she made me three, um, basically the name of my business and my phone number and my name on there. So I have free advertising on my van as well.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Yeah,
See. Yeah. And now you need to get some shirts for the market too.
yeah, that's something that's been brewing in my head, and I actually just ordered a banner for all of my vendor markets, and I was very grateful. The lady in the at the shop, she just really steered me in the right direction, and then um, I was very very excited to find out how inexpensive it was. I was thinking it was going to be way much more than it was, and I was just very pleased to. I was like,
Yeah.
really, that's all? So
Well, we're at the end of the
okay,
program. I told you it goes super fast, but this is the
it did.
opportunity for you to tell everybody exactly what it is you do, where they can find you, what offerings you have. I'm going to put up your Facebook page, but the floor is yours.
All right. Well, I just want to thank everybody for joining in, if you were able to. And right now, I'm only on Facebook, but you can search me out, message me on Messenger if you have any questions or would like to make a purchase. You can give me a call or a text. Um, and uh, coming soon will be a website, but it'll be a little while, probably 6 months or so. So thanks again.
So you're going to be at, just to rephrase, you're going to be at the Rockton Market
Mhm.
every Wednesday
From
starting
5
in
to 8.
June.
Yep, June 1st. It runs for 13 weeks from 5 to 8, and I'll be out there. So come see me there. They've got some good music I've seen on Facebook. So bring your dog, come see some music, and then come see me for some treats. And
And
then
then another event is at the
it's at South Beloit High School. It's called Bark Fest, and it's on Sunday, June 5th from 11 to 2.
Great. So yes, if you have dogs, they need good treats. So this is where you need to get them from. Mama Bear's Dog Treats and Balms. I have not. Mac, my dog, has had her treat. I have not given it to my other dog because he's like totally chill. And I'm like, I don't need to make him more chill. But I will be sure to get him some treats because actually, when I open up the bag, they both go wild. But I'm like, nope, these are special for Mac. And
Oh,
so
your
I
other
get to
baby
get
needs some
Chase his
treats
own
for sure.
treats.
Yes.
Oh, well, Tracy, it was great to hear your story and,
Thank you.
learn a little bit more about your business and what you strive for. And I wish you all the best of success. And I know the market, I think, is going to be a really, really great thing for you and
Yeah, I do
expanding
too.
your business as far as people knowing you are around. So kudos to you for that. And
Thank you.
thank you again for joining me.
Thanks. I appreciate the invitation. It went by fast and we did good.
Yeah, you did awesome. All right, everybody. I will be back next week with another amazing entrepreneur. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.